Hey, it's Dr. John Terry, President of the United States Martial Arts Hall of Fame, International Martial Arts Council of America. You know, we've got an international martial arts training camp coming up July 20, 21, 22. We're going to be in Houston, Texas at the Marriott West Chase, where you're going to have an opportunity to train with 15 master level instructors. One of those being the gentleman beside me here, Sifu Damon Evans. So I've heard some incredible things about you from some of the folks that have been a part of our camp for a while, and they just sing your praises. And so looking forward to seeing you presenting on Saturday morning. You're going to be one of our headliners that day, and we're very excited to have you. For those that don't know you, can you give them a little bit of your background and what you're going to be teaching at camp?
Yeah. Hello, first of all. And yeah, my background is I've been doing JKD since 94. I picked up the Thai arts in 2015, and I've been going pretty steady with that. Both the Krabong and the Muay Chaya are the styles that I do. And yeah, I'm just excited to be here and to, spread some Krabong around.
Absolutely. For those that don't know Krabi Krabong, and that's going to be the first time we've had that art presented at our national training camp. What's the difference between Krabi Krabong and Eskrima or some of the other stick arts?
So I would say the main difference is that there's a lot of more power-based techniques. It looks like Kali, but it's some pretty much different because they use sticks, but it's really a sword that they're using. So anytime you see sticks, it's really supposed to be a metal sword, and that's where the difference would lie in the sense that you don't. With a stick, you whack away at the opponent. With a blade, you want to cut and push cut and draw cut. So that's where I think some of the uniqueness in the Krabi Krabong comes out of.
So the applications they're going to learn could be stick-based, but they could also be edged weapons-based, all training in the same art.
Correct.
Very good. So in the class that you're going to be teaching on Saturday morning, what are they going to learn about Krabi Krabong?
Learn the basic stance, basic attacks, some defenses, a little bit of footwork, and then if we have time, hopefully a little bit of sparring and some live action back and forth going on.
Excellent. Well, we also have coming up Friday night, for those that may not be aware, we convene our Grand Masters Council on Friday night. We will have probably 15 to 25, depending on how many make it, 8th, 9th, and 10th degree Grand Masters that will be sitting at our Grand Masters table. We have a couple of individuals that are going to be completing their black belt testing that night before that crowd. And some of our guest instructors are going to be doing some demonstrations from their art. So would love to have you, while you're a part of our event this weekend, to be able to give us maybe a little bit of a taste Friday night of what we're going to see Saturday morning, working with Sifu Emery or one of our other individuals that are going to be there, and just putting on a little show and showing us a little bit of what Krabi Krabong could do. Would you be up for that?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Awesome.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm going to put you down for that. So
Okay.
again, your background, JKD, and then you got into the Filipino arts. So Krabi Krabong, I know we were talking before we started the recording that the actual Krabi Krabong stick is longer than a traditional Eskrima stick. Why is that?
Yeah, it's about 36 inches long. And, Thailand has got some missing history going on. So nobody really knows why. Like, they have a 3-span handle, and nobody really knows why they have a 3-span handle when supposedly you have 2 swords. So you're never grabbing it with 2 hands, ideally. But the story goes is that they got the blade from the Japanese. So at some time throughout history, the Japanese came over and they liked the balance of that extra length on the handle, because they do like a wrist kind of twirl when they attack, and that's for the weight of the blade. So I think that's probably the unique thing with the blades going on there.
Yeah, well, I could also see similar to the tonfa that we use in the Okinawan arts, with the length of it coming down below, that the actual bottom part of that stick could also serve as a defensive tool.
Yes, it can, and it does, yes. And then it's funny you mentioned that. They have another weapon called a maisok. And a maisok is like a tonfa, where you grab and you have the pole coming down, but there's another vertical piece that goes up in front of the one that you grab to protect your hand. And it's almost the same thing, but they tie onto your arm.
You know, I'm amazed at as I find and looking at all the different martial arts that we see at our national training camp every year, the uniqueness of each of the styles that have been developed in different parts of the country and different parts of the world. but at the same time, some of the similarities that come, even though they may not have seen, a tonfa, or they may not have seen some of the other weaponry that comes from different parts of the world, you see a lot of those same instruments being developed and utilized. And it's amazing the ingenuity of how we take a stick or a knife or a sword or a piece of bamboo, and all of a sudden that becomes a weapon system that we can use to defend ourselves. It's just an amazing part of this martial arts world that we live in.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And I feel like one of the main things with the sword and the Krab or Krabong, I just want to add in there, is that it's really power based because they weren't heavy on armor because it was so hot out there. So we're like a lot of arts. I mean, like the Filipinos, I think they're a little bit more dexterous in the way that they move. But a lot of that stuff you try with a blade, it doesn't work so well. With a stick, you can be very flowery and dexterous. But yeah, a lot of power in the Krab or Krabong, and I think that's just due to the armor, and then plus the weapon that they're holding is a heavy weapon. So
absolutely,
yeah, I'm excited.
Absolutely. Well, Sifu Evans, we are so excited to have you being a part of our event this year. And I want to say thank you for taking a few minutes to give the folks a little bit of background and get a chance to see who you are before they actually attend the event. And at the same time, learn a little bit more about the art that you're going to be teaching. So for those of you that haven't yet made up your mind, do I make it to this event this year or not? This is the 24th year that we put on our IMAC National Training Camp. And it is 15 world-class master level instructors, each teaching a different discipline. And this is the very first year we've had Krabi Krabong actually taught. So it's going to be a first time ever at the International Training Camp that you're going to want to be a part of. If you've not yet registered, you can go to IMACUSA.com. That's IMACUSA.com, and you can register in advance, or you can simply show up Thursday morning, Friday morning, or Saturday morning and register at the registration table and come be a part of our event. Again, we're at the West Chase Marriott Hotel in Houston, Texas, July 20, 21, and 22. Sifu Evans, anything you want to say as we get ready to wrap this up?
I just hope to see everybody there, and I hope you're as excited as I am.
Absolutely. Well, it's going to be a great event. Hey, Dr. John Terry, President of the United States Martial Arts Hall of Fame, International Martial Arts Council of America, thanks for joining us. We'll see you in Houston, Texas, July 20, 21, 22. Have a great day.